Okay, let's talk about lead magnets. So, if you are a business owner that has an email marketing list, you've probably heard, or maybe you already have something called a lead magnet. So, you're giving people something, you're giving leads something in exchange for their information. Usually, this is going to be their email, their phone, maybe their name, and just whatever it is, you're giving people this info in exchange for their contact. So, let's talk about how to build an effective one because I think how most people are going about building a lead magnet right now is like kind of skewed a little bit. So here's the quick reframe. Let's say you have two different lead magnets. So lead magnet A, not sure why I did all caps there, but and let's say this is lead magnet B. So let's say every time you promote this, let's say every time you promote lead magnet A, you're going to bring in 1,000 people. And every time you promote lead magnet B, you're going to bring in 100 people. And lead magnet A turns into maybe 3 buyers overall. So put out the lead magnet, you brought in 1,000 new people into your email list, whatever SMS, and from that converted into 3 buyers. Where over here you brought in 100 people, this one converted to 7 or maybe 8 buyers. It's so easy to get stuck in the amount of people you're bringing into the lead magnet when in reality is this is the one that is converting at a higher rate. And people are like, oh, they get blinded when they're like, okay, this keeps bringing in so many people, so many people, so many people. But if you actually go back and you check like the stats, how many buyers is it actually turning into? What the problem is, what you kind of run into, and this is why I have this picture here, is a lot of lead magnet A is going to be something very generic and it's going to attract more of those free seeking people. So they don't actually care about your product. They just care about the free thing that you're giving them and they're willing to give you an email. And it's probably even like an email they barely even check in the first place. Where lead magnet B, you add a little bit of a qualifications to it. So maybe it doesn't even make sense to people that aren't would be considered buyers. So you got to keep that in mind when you're creating these lead magnets. How close can you get to okay, is this person a buyer or are they just going to want the free thing that I'm putting out and trying to actively promote in exchange for the information? So back to this picture, it's what we call it from Ben Settle here actually is 100 moldy pennies or 4 shiny quarters. Which one would you rather have? So lead magnets A is going to attract more of those moldy pennies, like the ones that kind of just sit in the cup on your car, under the drink, or the 4 shiny quarters. It's all about the mindset. Are they going to buy or are they not? And it's not necessarily a bad thing to bring in a bunch of these people, these 1,000 people. People can always turn into buyers, but the sales cycle for them, this is by far usually going to be a lot longer. So I don't want to pretend like bringing people into your email list still is a bad thing, but the sales cycle is going to be a lot longer, maybe even like years, 6 months plus. There can definitely be an outlier, but this is going to be a lot shorter because lead magnet is qualified. Okay. So let's get some specific examples in here just so you guys get an idea of like how you can go about creating these lead magnets for your specific business. So one thing I talked about in my last videos was like coffee shops or restaurants. These can actually be really good. Whoa. These can actually be really good because a lot of these buildings are going to be, or these businesses are going to be collecting only emails that have already bought from them before. So like maybe these are people who order online, or maybe these are people who are in the building and they scan the QR code to the newsletter on the menu there. Same thing with the coffee shop. Maybe you put a QR code on the coffee cup, or maybe they did an online order. Those are all going to be buyers. So that's a really good high quality email list because they're already people who have bought from you before. Another thing you could do there would put out like something on social media, but you want to tend to lean towards the people who have already buying from you. But let's say an example like, you have a business online, you're trying to bring in sales online. Like a lower quality lead magnet here would be something like a giveaway, because these are automatically a bunch of free seekers only giving info and probably fake info in exchange for chance to enter. That's actually the reason why you've probably seen a lot of people are making you pay for these giveaways now, like $10 for a ticket compared to you actually just entering your info and trying to get a ticket for free. That's the exact reason why people are doing it. So let's talk about like so you want to gear away from stuff like this. And then another thing which is pretty common in like the coaching, maybe like fitness coaches space, or like just a bunch of people on Instagram, you see like the ManyChat, comment burgers. That's my example. I'll send you my burger recipe. A lot of people are doing stuff like just like, the classic free ebook, like here's my free ebook I'll send you. That can be another one that attracts a lot of the lead magnet A people, the 100 moldy pennies from a buyer's mindset. Like they want just a free thing attached to it and they're not actually interested. So one thing you can do here, so like to skew it a little bit and kind of gear towards the shiny quarters, is like for this example, comment burgers, I'll send you my burger recipe. Maybe you actually make it so the burger recipe costs $2. So that way, anyone who is actually serious about like getting in and actually learning about what you're selling, they have skin in the game. They've purchased for $2. So you're building a list of high quality people who are already purchased from you. That's one thing you can do. You can actually run your lead magnet to like a low ticket offer instead. But another thing you can do if you don't want to actually price the lead magnet is you can make something that like kind of qualifies to where they're at. So like, let's say, you're selling to an audience, and let's do like like you're a fitness coach, selling to an audience, one-on-one coaching. You probably don't in this scenario. You want to lean more towards doing something like that, people are going to be willing to invest in your product. So maybe you chose a specific niche, like my let's see, my weekly split for engineers who work 40 hours a week. So see what that immediately does compared to literally just putting something like my weekly split. This one is going to tailor to everyone, where this one, they actually have the money and the funds to actually purchase your product, and it's very niche. So it's going to bring in a less amount of people as it is. But if you're solely working for that niche, they're going to be a lot more attracted to your product and your service in the first place, because you're only tailoring to these people. So that's just a few quick examples. We can definitely run through, like, maybe you can leave a comment as well if like, okay, how can I build a lead magnet be specifically for this business? Here's what I had before. Here's who I'm trying to attract. But the whole mindset is like, you don't have to get too wrapped up with the examples I'm giving you. The whole mindset you want to be in, though, is like, okay, how can I get these people a lot closer to the shiny quarters, rather than like a bunch of people that are just going to come into my email list and read my stuff but never buy. Like, they're not buyers. There's just that big percentage of people who are never going to buy. So, all right, hope this helps.